She spoke softly. "Xingxing, you are truly wonderful." At this moment, the whole room was filled with a sweet and warm aroma. Then he was as excited as a drill, madly drilling into his chest. "It feels like I need to immerse myself in it." "Stop, stop, stop." Lu Hang quickly pushed his head away, randomly supplemented. "It can only be occasional. Did you hear that clearly?" Translation error. "Stingy." Kinglin complained unhappily. Then on his chest started drawing circles. But this has already. It made him very happy. Achieved great success. Take your time. This is just the first step. Afterwards, Lu Hang gently coughed twice, trying to clear my throat a bit. Then he straightened his body, striving to put on a serious and solemn appearance. But the eyes unconsciously flashed with a hint of panic and tension. "If you want to come back during the break, also, you can come back too." He stammered as he said this sentence. It feels as if every word requires immense effort. Only then can it be spoken. Nevertheless, he still tried his best to stay calm. "I don't want the other person to notice." The true thoughts within oneself. Upon hearing this, Kinglin's face, a sly smile suddenly appeared. He slightly raised the corner of his mouth, in a sweet and cloying manner. Softly Du Xiu Yuen asked, "Hang Hang, do you miss me?" That voice was as beautiful as the music of the heavens, as gentle as a spring breeze brushing against the face. It's hard not to be enchanted by it. Lu Hang was taken aback by the sudden question. The body trembled violently. I almost fell off the bed. He stared wide-eyed. I stared incredulously at the quirky person in front of me. For a moment, I didn't know how to respond. After a while, he just came to his senses. She retorted with her neck stiffened. I won't miss you at all." "Speak." He deliberately waved his hand, pretending to be indifferent. However, Kinglin was not deceived by his appearance. In his pair of expressive big eyes, shining with a wise glow, it seems to have already seen through everything. He just smiled slightly. He murmured to himself in a low voice. He stubborn, although the volume is low. But it still clearly reached Lu Hang's ears. This made Lu Hang, who was already feeling a bit guilty, even more awkward. His cheeks instantly flushed bright red, like a ripe apple. "But when the time comes to stay at school, you have to message me every day," Kinglin sternly reminded. I know." Lu Hang nodded calmly. "If you go out, you must report your location to me at all times. You're being too nosy. Did you hear that?" Kinglin gritted her teeth and questioned. "I don't want to." Lu Hang directly shook his head in refusal. "Don't be like that. Then I'll follow you every day." Kinglin glared fiercely at Lu Hang and threatened him. "Fair, you little brain. What could one possibly be thinking about day after day?" Lu Hang angrily tapped Kinglin on the head. He questioned fiercely. "Then you quickly agree to me." Kinglin grinned fiercely, like an angry little kitten. "Troublesome." "No." Lu Hang made a disgusted expression and refused. "Luyutu, you must promise me." Kinglin's tone was filled with an undeniable forcefulness. "Like?" Lu Hang frowned in confusion and asked. There was a hint of impatience in the tone. "You won't be there again." "What should I do then? Where would I go missing?" Lu Hang saw Kinglin's appearance at this moment. First, I was taken aback. A faint pain arose in my heart. He slowly embraced her, gently comforted. "You did the same thing last time. If we say goodbye, then it's goodbye. Do you remember that time? How anxious am I?" Speaking, he still felt unsatisfied. He struck him hard in the chest. "I'm sorry." Lu Hang didn't know how to respond. After a long silence, "I just apologized." Then he added, "But this time is different. We are all in the same school and the same class, together every day. Where would I suddenly disappear? Then you should quickly agree with me. I promise you." Lu Hang helplessly raised his hand in surrender, expressing compromise. "Hey." Upon hearing these words, Yi Qinglin suddenly smiled with joy, tightened the embrace around Lu Hang. "That's right, that's right. You still have to video call me every night. Oh, I understand. You're really nice." Yi Qinglin's eyes were fixed on Lu Hang, in the midst of gaze, filled with endless tenderness and deep affection, as if a spring of water, about to flow out. Facing such a burning gaze, Lu Hang felt a bit flustered and at a loss. He slightly shifted his body back, trying to create distance between each other. "But my heart is in turmoil." He slightly shifted his body back, trying to avoid that captivating yet unsettling gaze. "But a ripple of emotion couldn't help but rise in my heart." He stuttered as he spoke. "Don't look at me like that. I just feel that. I'll let you see it at night. I will feel more at ease. That's why I agreed to your request." Despite saying this out loud, but his cheeks, a blush had long since risen involuntarily, revealing the true emotional fluctuations deep within. "Today is the last night. Can you promise me one thing?" Yi Qingling bit her lip, pleaded in a weak tone. "What are the requirements?" "You said." Lu Hang asked calmly, "Can you take off your top?" After saying this, Yi Qingling's face, a hint of a red moon, also arose. It seems he knows this is a bit embarrassing. "Do you want to hear what you're saying?" Lu Hang was instantly shocked, his eyes widening in disbelief. An expression of disbelief, staring blankly at Yi Qingling. "Oh, please, I'm begging you. Is this the last night?" Yi Qingling saw. Pleading is useless. Holding his arm. Then they started to act spoiled and play tricks. This is making Lu Hang direct. It feels like drifting back and forth in a soft cloud. Feeling really uncomfortable. "Let go of me first." "And why do I have to take off my clothes?" He first pulled out the arm that was being hugged by Yi Qingling. Then he questioned in confusion. "Because I want to touch it." Yi Qingling replied in a calm and breezy tone. "It seems like this is a very normal thing." "Touch? Where to touch?" Lu Hang's ears. In an instant everything turned bright red. Asked in disbelief. "He touch the belly." Yi Qingling smiled slyly. Then a hand mischievously. It crawled up from the hem of Lu Hang's clothes. "Hello, hello, hello. You quickly stop it for me." Lu Hang blind voice stopped. He reached out to pull away Yi Qingling's restless whispers from him. But his little hand, like a snake, whenever Lu Hang was about to catch up. Then I wandered to the other side again. HMPH. Yi Qingling smiled proudly, gave a disdainful look at Lu Hang. "Emo too. Hurry up and put me down." Saying this, Lu Hang pulled his clothes open. Leave his hands nowhere to hide. HMPH. "Sen. This is indeed. You opened it yourself." Brush. Just as Lu Hang was reaching out to him, he took the opportunity to swipe upward. Lu Hang's clothes, so direct, was stripped down. "Well," Lu Hang exclaimed, "I am going to snatch that piece of clothing from Yi Qingling's hands." Little did he know, with all his might, he threw it away. That piece of clothing. It was thrown directly onto the distant desk. Emo too. Despicable and shameless. Lu Hang gritted his teeth and shouted angrily, then tried to sit up from the bed. Go get that piece of clothing. Bujutu. Just stay put and be honest with me. Speaking, he just went straight for it. The entire weight pressed heavily on him, make him unable to move. Hey, don't mess around. Lu Hang shifted his body nervously. Stammering, he warned him. Useless. You can't run away. Let me see. His hand roughly touched his stomach, feeling those solid muscles. Addictive. He mine. It's all mine. Jai. He Kingling laughed wickedly, looked at with a face full of longing. A body that makes one drool. Saliva is dripping from the corner of my mouth. 5 minutes later, E. Kingling leaned against the headboard and let out a deep sigh. Then I looked at him, curled up in the blanket with his back turned. I dare not look at his Lu Hang. A charming smile. Are you happy now? I will never forgive you. Lu Hang shouted in a flustered tone. E. Kingling scoffed with disdain, then slowly crawled over, embraced him again. He spoke slowly. Hang, you have a pretty good figure. Super bubble suit. When did you become so lewd iron? Lu Hang let out a disdainful sigh. Then I felt a distance grow between me and Yi Kingling. Oh, come on, don't be so stingy. It's not like I haven't touched it before. Yi Kingling scoffed and mumbled dismissively. Then he seemed to remember something. He revealed a sly smile. She leaned closer to his ear, whispered seductively, "Otherwise, why don't you touch my belly?" Speaking, he slowly lifted the edge of his clothing. After a moment of silence, Lu Hang slowly turned over. "Oh, it seems you don't really want to touch it." Yi Kingling intentionally made a regretful expression. When doing something, you must put down the clothes you have lifted. Hi, since you're asking like this, then I will take revenge as well. Lu Hang cleared his throat lightly, replied in a deliberately serious manner. Oh, Yi Kingling smiled meaningfully. It's revenge. Absolutely not what I want to touch. Lu Hangling arrived at the back. Don't forget to remind me. Come quickly, come quickly. Yi Kingling nodded excitedly. Hurry up. Why do I feel like you're more anxious than I am? Oh, no. Hurry up. Oh, it's here. Lu Hang felt that something was off, but still couldn't hold back their hands. Slowly reached out. Oh, so soft. Translation error. Hey, just as Lu Hang was still immersed in the gentle fragrance. Yi Kingling smiled mischievously. I can't believe it. I'm so fooled. Lu Hang also saw her expression. I secretly thought this is bad. Hastily tried to retract the hand, but thought it was a kiss. A gust of wind sounded. She quickly pulled down her clothes. Hold onto Lu Hang's hand tightly. He can't enter, nor can he retreat. Yi Kingling directly accused the thief in a single move. With a teasing expression, they said to Lu Hang, "It was clearly you who pushed my hand in. Let me go now." Lu Hang gritted his teeth and said. He also tried to pull his hand out from inside. "If you hadn't reached out, how can I possibly hold you back?" Yi Kingling directly retorted. Lu Hang was left at a loss for words. Had to urge them fiercely. "Let go of me quickly. Hey, pighead. Now it's a beautiful girl." Translation error. You actually still find me displeasing. I just can't stand it. Let go of me. Don't let go. Can't let go. Not letting go, right? Then you can't blame me. Clang, 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 clang. Lu Hang directly on her belly. Translation error. Occasionally it would make amusing sounds. It's been a long time. Lu Hang lay in bed, gasping heavily. Thought indignantly in her heart, "Damn it. Forget that demon. No fear of itching anymore. I have. Tired." Yi Kingling glanced at her with a sly smile. No. What exactly is going on? Only then can you let go of my hand. Lu Hang panted as he asked. Her voice carried a hint of helplessness and exhaustion. Yi Qingling tightly grasped Lu Hang's hand. Her eyes were filled with anticipation and longing. You won't sleep with me tonight without a shirt on, she quickly replied. Her tone carried a hint of a playful pout. Lu Hang helplessly looked at Yi Qingling. A feint appeared on her face. Let me go. She tried to break free from Yi Qingling's hand, but she held on even tighter. You promised me. I just let it go, Yi Qingling said. Her gaze was filled with determination. You have already thrown my clothes so far away. Why are you still asking me? Lu Hang said. Her voice carried a hint of unspoken emotion. Yi Qingling looked at Lu Hang. A sly smile appeared on her face. That being said, you agree? She looked at Lu Hang with delight and asked. Lu Hang did not directly answer Yi Qingling's question. She only carried a hint of compromise. Pulled his hand away from Yi Qingling's belly. Hurry and let go, she said. Her voice carried a hint of helplessness. Hey! Yi Qingling let out a light laugh. She excitedly pounced on Lu Hang once again. He spread his arms and pressed down on her. Sen, can I pinch here? She asked. Her voice carried a hint of playfulness. It's up to you, Lu Hang said. Her voice carried a hint of helplessness. Go ahead. May I touch you there? Yi Qingling asked. Her voice carried a hint of curiosity. Don't ask me, Lu Hang said. Her voice carried a hint of impatience. Sen, I want to kiss here, Yi Qingling said. Her voice carried a hint of shyness. Lu Hang realized something was wrong. It is already too late. Yi Qingling has already kissed her sturdy chest muscle. Lu Hang suddenly became alert. A hint of surprise appeared on his face. She didn't expect. Yi Qingling can be so bold. Yi Qingling looked at Lu Hang. A sweet smile appeared on her face. She knows that Lu Hang has feelings for her too. She just doesn't have the courage to express it yet. Lu Hang was so surprised that he couldn't say a word, can only point at Yi Qingling's nose, continuously repeating this word. What about you? What am I? Is it normal for childhood friends to kiss? She stood with her hands on her hips. Lu Hang directly pointed at her hand, spoke with righteous indignation. The tone is unreservedly firm. It seems like this is something perfectly natural. You are truly not even pretending anymore. Lu Hang timidly turned his head away. The fin rope muttered to itself. Walking. It's getting late. It's time for us to sleep, Yi Qingling said sweetly, with a tone that carried an undeniable firmness. Speak. She pushed Lu Hang back onto the bed with force again, as if wanting to bind him tightly. Immediately after that, she was like a nimble octopus, quickly and tightly wrapped around Lu Hang. Lu Hang, treated this way, couldn't help but complain. I'm almost out of breath. And furthermore, it's really hot. However, despite constantly complaining, but it felt as if it had lost control, uncontrolledly embraced Yi Qingling, that delicate and fragile waist. This kind of action, it seems to have become a habit. It became her instinct. The reaction is the same. Time flows like fine sand in an hourglass, flowing away drop by drop. Yi Qingling quietly nestled in her arms, as if a well-behaved kitten, enjoying to the fullest this rare warmth and peace. She gently closed her eyes, feeling the warmth radiating from her body, like the warm sun of spring shining in my heart. Gradually, that intense feeling of drowsiness, like a tide, it swept in, drowned all her thoughts, swam into a delicate cushion, bring her endless comfort and ease. She couldn't help but tighten her arms. He held her more tightly in his arms, afraid that if I let go she will disappear without a trace, accompanied by her steady breathing. Lu Hang's eyelids grew heavier and heavier, ultimately unable to resist the invasion of sleepiness. Gently close your eyes. Entered the dreamland. At this moment, the two were like two intertwined vines, tightly dependent on each other, and that clearly audible heartbeat. It's like a beautiful melody. The music plays on this tranquil night, making the air filled with a kind of ambiguous yet sweet atmosphere. Time flies. It has already reached September 1st. It's 4 p.m. for the formal report. E. Kinglin and Lu Hang walked shoulder to shoulder into the campus. At this moment, the entire school seems unusually lively. Everywhere are students. There are also parents bringing new students to school. When the two walked into the school, attracted the attention of many people. Are you going to the dormitory? Classmate, can I help you with your luggage? Pay, where's your luggage? There are several upperclassmen welcoming new students. Noticed the two people. Came over to greet. I'm sorry. We came to the school yesterday and tidied everything up. We can just go by ourselves. Because the two of them already came to the school yesterday to organize things. So after politely declining, they left. It seems like you are from class 3. We are in different classes. I am from class 4. Lu Hang suddenly asked while walking. Yi Qinglin fell silent for a moment. Then he slowly nodded. It seems there is dissatisfaction with the school's arrangements. Damn it, it's clearly the same major. But they were not assigned to the same class. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Yi Qinglin complained wildly in her heart. The fist in my hand has tightened slightly in the shadows. Lu Hang glanced at his phone, then asked, Our class is at 6 o'clock this evening. Gather at the reporting station. What about you? We will meet at 7 o'clock. After gathering together, take everyone to the teaching building for a brief class meeting. E. Kinglin also took out his phone to check. Responded. Her tone carried a hint of dissatisfaction, the glimpse of the eyes, secretly observing Lu Hang, with a hint of reluctance. It's evening. The meeting has ended. I will go pick you up, Lu Hang said with a stutter in his voice, feeling a bit empty inside. Really, bed? E. Kinglin asked with shining eyes. I heard there will be many snacks at the school gate tonight. Let's go out and take a look then. Lu Hang nodded. He said slowly, Ihin bud. E. Kinglin intentionally elongated the last syllable, just like a well-behaved and cute little child. She sweetly agreed. Let's head back to the dormitory first. First, let's get to know photography. Lu Hang sent a message on his phone. It's the dorm group, because the dormitory was assigned in advance. So the group has already been set up. E. Kinglin is not smiling. Ah, it's still early now. Why are you going back so soon? She quietly advised against it, feeling dissatisfied. Clearly, she didn't want to part ways with Lu Hang. Let's head back early to get to know photography a bit, then have dinner with them in the evening. Lu Hang calmly explained. There is a hint of youthfulness. E. Kinglin turned her head, pouting, grumbled softly in dissatisfaction. Let's go. Lu Hang urged. Bayan took the lead and walked ahead. Will you too? Wait for me. E. Kinglin gritted her teeth, shouted from behind. All right, we've reached the cave. You go up. Lu Hang arrived at the dormitory building. She said to Yi Kinglin, who was tugging at the corner of her clothes, I don't want to go up. Yi Kinglin answered softly, his head lowered like a fine thread. Ah, Yi Kinglin, is it really you? The two turned around at the sound simultaneously. It turns out to be Chu Wanning, carrying a big bag of things. Waved to them from behind. "Oh, Lu Hang, you're here too." Chu Wanning was rolling that big bag of things. Slowly approached the two. "I took her back to the dorm. I will go back later too." Lu Hang patted Yi Qinglin beside him. Politely replied, "Oh, you two really have a great relationship." Shu Wanning covered her mouth, showed an incomprehensible smile. "Ah, Wanning, you. Let's hurry up." Yi Qinglin immediately rushed her. He covered her mouth, then hugged the person. He walked towards the dormitory building. "Pighead, don't forget to pick me up tonight. I will send you the location later." When I walked into the building, Yi Qinglin turned back to remind Lu Hang. "Okay," Lu Hang nodded, waved his hand towards her position, then turned towards. Walked back to my dorm. While the two were waiting for the elevator, Chu Wanning broke free from Yi Qinglin's grasp. Asked in doubt, Qinglin, what's wrong? Why did you suddenly cover my mouth?" Yi Qinglin hesitated. "I can't put it into words. After all, I had told her before. Lu Hang is her fiancé. It can't be said to be fake, can it? Well, it's not entirely false. It's only a matter of time. But this will disrupt my entire plan. That won't do." Suddenly, an idea struck her. It was as if a giant light bulb appeared above. He said casually, "She is just too shy. If only you had said it directly just now. She will be so shy." Yi Qinglin wore a serious expression. He said solemnly, "Oh, I see." Chu Wanning looked at Yi Qinglin's serious expression. I couldn't help but believe it. Then she looked at Yi Qinglin with a face full of sympathy and said, "You really have it tough. Hard work." Yi Qinglin scratched his head, asked in confusion, "Yes, my fiancé is so shy. Aren't you tired yet?" "Uh-huh, actually, it's nothing much." Yi Qinglin touched the cold sweat on my forehead, explained nervously, "If this is discovered by Lu Hang, I was outside talking badly about him. He won't spank me when he gets home, right? Well, it's not impossible. Actually, he treats me very well. No, it's extremely good." Yi Qinglin said this with unparalleled seriousness. It felt as if everything was pressed down upon it. "I can see this point clearly." Chu Wanning nodded seriously. Then she sighed and said, "I really envy you. I also want a boyfriend like that." Upon hearing these words, Yi Qinglin's heart suddenly tightened. The eyes began to lose their luster. "Are you serious? Do you also want to compete with me for him?" No. I'm just very envious. I absolutely did not mean that." No. Chu Wanning saw the expression on Yi Qinglin's face. Fear rose from within, quickly waved his hand to indicate no. "Really?" Yi Qinglin's tone. "There is no warmth at all. Abnormally cold. Really. Chu Wanning quickly nodded, fast like a rabbit. It would be better this way. Yi Qinglin finally breathed a sigh of relief. The strength just now has slightly diminished. But she still reminded him with concern. "Wanning, I have already considered you a good friend. Do you understand? Qinglin, don't worry. I consider you a good friend too." "I would never think like that," Chu Wanning replied solemnly. At the same time, she let out a small sigh of relief. "Long, this battle is just too intense. You scared me to death." When Lu Hang returned to the dormitory, the other 3 roommates have already arrived. Everyone is organizing their belongings. "Wow, who are you handsome?" One of them is wearing sportswear, a muscular man with a body full of muscles. When I saw Lu Hang, could not help but exclaim. The other two couldn't help but turn around to look. When I saw Lu Hang, everyone was momentarily stunned, but it quickly recovered. Otherwise, he should really be afraid now. Oh, hello everyone. My name is Lu Hang. Lu Hang politely greeted a few people. When seeing one of the people, he couldn't help but freeze for a moment. Yesterday, Lu Hang saw what was written. I want to be on the table for Kamisato Ayaka's dog, a person wearing plain clothing, a slightly plump classmate, tidying up his bed. It seems this table finally found my place of belonging. Lu Hang couldn't help but smile. I thought to myself, hello, my name is Xiao Wang, the muscular man standing in front of Lu Hang. It also explained itself. Hello, my name is Zhang Jiyuan, a slightly thin-looking person, wearing black framed glasses, looks like a top student in the sciences. Greeted Lu Hang in the same way. Hello, I am the Black King from Hell. My name is Sha Dio, that classmate in the pain outfit from the two-dimensional world. A hand covers the eyes. Mysteriously smiled at Lu Hang. Sha Dio. Lu Hang smiles slightly, looking at him with an awkward expression. It really is a bit silly. Aha, just kidding. My name is Liu Heitao. I'll show you something nice. Liu Heitao climbed down from the bed. Holding the phone mysteriously, they leaned closer to Lu Hang. What is it? Lu Hang also curiously leaned in, looking at the photos on his phone screen. You won't know until you look. Startled at first glance. Isn't this photo Yi Kingling? Test. Let me tell you about Lu Hang. He is definitely the laughingstock of High University. I've never seen anyone so beautiful. It's a pity. I heard you have a boyfriend now. Otherwise, with your looks, they really are a perfect match. Liu Heitao looked at the photo, looked at Lu Hang again. He said with a regretful expression, I also heard that he is in the same major as us, but not from the same class. What a pity. Where did you get so much information from? Zhao Wan and Zhang Jiyuan also came over from the side. Curiously asked, School forum. There's a lot in here. That all went viral. Liu Heitao opened the forum homepage. Lu Hang took a closer look. Most of the photos are indeed of Yi Kingling, but it's quite strange that Yi Kingling is not by Lu Hang's side. It feels like it was intentionally cut in half. Lu Hang, there are still your photos in here. Not a few. Liu Heitao opened a post again, placed in front of Lu Hang. Just let it be. Still trying to get a hold of this handsome guy. I want to have a child with him. Handsome guy. Is the gender card dead? Not okay. I can too. The posts get more and more eye-watering as you go further down. There was even a bear with a face full of blush. Ask him if he is available on the post. My eyes. My eyes are going to go bad. Lu Hang quickly pushed aside Liu Heitao's phone. She covered her eyes and shouted loudly. Test. Truly, comparing people can drive one to despair. Why don't I have any? Liu Heitao stared at the phone screen and complained angrily. You should change out of that outfit first. Zhang Jiyuan said calmly. Forget it. The world of the second dimension is the most wonderful. Before the voice could fade away, Liu Heitao took a swift step forward, rushed to his own desk, excitedly pointing at what was placed on the table. Shenli Linghu, a sticker, could not help but shout with joy. Look quickly. This is simply fate destined by heaven. I just arrived. She caught a glimpse of him. Even luckier is. Surprisingly, it hasn't been taken away by you all yet. Doesn't this just mean that Has he been silently waiting for my arrival? Upon hearing these words, Lu Hang couldn't help but roll his eyes. The corners of his mouth twitched slightly, showed an incredibly awkward expression, hesitantly asked, "Is it possible that no one else but you? Will anyone else choose this?" At this moment, standing beside is Zhang Jiyuan. His face was filled with disdain and contempt, muttered without any concealment, "Death and disaster are sickening in the face of such accusations." Liu Heitao refused to back down. He suddenly extended his index finger, pointing straight at Zhang Jiyuan's nose, shouted angrily, "Zhang family, stop pretending. Mysterious and reserved oddball." "Ah, you're the one who's reserved and flirty," Zhang Jiyuan retorted defiantly, but in a stuttering tone. It seems to confirm the authenticity of Liu Heitao's words. Just as the two were arguing incessantly, Zhao Wan, who had been quietly observing from the side, suddenly interrupted. With a heart full of doubts, I asked, "Do you know each other?" "Oh, really? We are high school classmates. We all got accepted together. I guess we're best friends," Liu Heitao responded after realizing. "Oh, you really have a connection." Lu Hang suddenly realized and replied, "If both parties are not familiar." At first it was like this. Probably started a long time ago. Thinking of this, Lu Hang couldn't help but feel a twinge of regret. I couldn't end up in the same class as Yi Qingling. On the other side, Yi Qingling and Chu Wanning returned to the dormitory. I also met two other photography friends. They are all relatively quiet types. A girl named Lai Lai, a girl named Chen Xiaoyan. "Wow, Qingling, hurry up and come see." Chu Wanning held her phone, a surprised expression. He waved at Yi Qingling. "Pam, what's wrong?" Yi Qingling was also unaware of anything, approached with a puzzled expression. Only then did Chu Wanning's phone show. "It is a post. It's a post about the outdoor food street. Various delicious foods, diverse and varied. Qingling, after the meeting at night, let's go try it out." Chu Wanning's eye sparkled, looking at Yi Qingling, excitedly asked, "Hey, sorry, Wanning. I will go out with Lu Hang tonight." Yi Qingling chuckled softly, answered with a hint of apology, "The night of the colorful friends. All right, all right. Hey, sorry about that. Anning, it's okay, it's okay. Let's go just the three of us tonight. Let's go together another day." Chu Wanning replied after that. Then he scrolled down on his phone again. A post caught her attention. It also caught Yi Qingling's attention. Directly above that post, everyone is asking for Lu Hang's contact information. There's also someone called husband. You need to have his child. Various lewd emoji. There are even men. What website is this? Yi Qingling's eyes were filled with fury. That feeling of violence and madness. It was released again. "Qingling, don't get too worked up. Take a moment." Yi Qingling did not respond, but in intense deep breaths. Clearly he was also trying to calm the anger within. "Qingling, they are all joking. You know, online, right? Everyone loves to joke around." Chu Wanning patted Yi Qingling on the shoulder, trying to divert her attention. "This is that website." After calming down a bit, Yi Qingling turned to the side and asked Chu Wanning. But at this moment she, biting down hard on his teeth, you can clearly see the muscles of the jaw now, clearly still very angry. "This is our school's forum." Chu Wanning looked at Yi Qingling's expression at that moment. "I guess I have no choice but to tell her." Yi Qingling urgently took out her phone. After asking Zhang Chuining for the website, so they immediately logged in. She replied to those messages one by one, without exception. They are all proclaiming their sovereignty. Of course, she is also on the forum. Saw a post about myself. Like every message asking for her contact information. Everyone replies with one. I have a boyfriend now. Stop thinking about it. But after all, it's online. No one knows her. No one knows either. This account is her. So, she has also suffered many setbacks. A full hour. She is replying angrily. These pieces of information, proclaiming one's sovereignty, kindling. Don't send it anymore. They just talk about it online. Lu Hang in reality. Isn't it still yours? Chu Wanning walked over. He patted her shoulder and comforted her. Younger brother. At this moment, Yi Qingling's mobile phone suddenly received a few messages. It belongs to Lu Hang. Lu Yuzhu, our class needs to gather first. After you finish the meeting in the evening, remember to message me. Yi Qingling. I understand. Lu Yuzhu. Good. Then I'll come find you tonight. Remember to eat later. Don't eat too much. Yi Qingling. Then I won't eat for now. Let's go to the snack street together tonight. Lu Yuzhu. No way. I need to eat a little bit to fill my stomach. I'll eat with you again tonight. Yi Qingling. Good. The conversation ends here. Yi Qingling's mood instantly brightened. Smiling, he said to the side Chu Wanning. Wanning, you are right. Lu Hang is mine. Well, your change of face is too quick, isn't it? Chu Wanning couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. Let's go eat. Just in time for the meeting after finishing dinner. I can't wait any longer. Yi Qingling excitedly spoke to the three people in the dormitory, then pushed Chu Wanning's shoulder, stepped out of the dormitory door. Lai Lai and Chen Zio Yan followed behind and walked out. Are you in such a hurry? Chu Wanning was stunned. Just now they looked so angry, just because of a few messages from Lu Hang. Now I'm happier than anyone else. Is this the legendary high attack and low defense? As the saying goes, not enthusiastic about eating. There's something wrong with your head. Speaking, Yi Qingling licked her lips, increased the speed beneath my feet. On the other side, Lu Hang gathered after reporting to the meeting point. They were led into a guest room by the assistant. Exactly 4 seats in each row. Lu Hang and Liu Heitao, Zhang Jiyuan, Zhao Wang's 4, sat in the middle row seat. But, with the sound of high heels approaching, someone walked in. A beautiful woman in professional attire. Lu Hang was momentarily stunned. Sigh at this world. It's really small. This woman. It was the senior who helped her and Yi Qingling find their way yesterday. Hello, my name is Zhu Yingxin. It's your counselor. This is my contact information. Please take care of me in the future. Speaking, Zhu Yingxin wrote down her name and contact information for the class. I'm happy to go. You probably don't know yet. Liu Heitao shouted excitedly, as if discovering some earth-shattering secret. He continued to speak incessantly, introducing the 3 people next to me. This is Zhu Yingxin. This is serious. Not only beautiful, and she is our advisor from the literature department of Heide University. What's even more impressive is they are still a top student who graduated from Heide University with a master's degree, has won many awards. Upon hearing this, Zhang Jiyuan couldn't help but frown. He asked with a face full of suspicion. I said, Heitao, how do you know this so clearly? Do you have some special connections or something? Liu Heitao's lips curved into a slight smile. A mysterious smile appeared. Then proudly replied, Pig, isn't it? I found this information on the school forum. Upon hearing this, Zhang Jiwen instantly looked down upon, rolled her eyes in mockery, and I thought you were really impressive. It turns out it's just a last-minute rush. It's being investigated now. At this moment, Lu Hang, who had been silent all along, suddenly turned her gaze towards the distant Zhu Yingxin, whispering softly to oneself, "Literature department. It seems like they are thinking about something important." Zhao Wang stood strong beside, immediately leaned in and curiously asked, "Lu Han, you wouldn't. Are you interested in this literary department?" Lu Hang slowly nodded, expressed agreement, and explained that, I do have some thoughts. In the future, I might try writing some novels. This is a perfect opportunity. Go deeper to understand relevant knowledge and circumstances." After the meeting ended, Lu Hang and his two friends approached Zhu Yingxin. He greeted politely, "Hello, Teacher Zhu. My name is Lu Hang." "Oh, I still remember. Translation error. Let's get lost together." Zhu Yingxin replied teasingly. "Oh, do you still remember?" Lu Hang awkwardly scratched his head. "You don't need to call me Wang Ning anymore. I'm not much older than you. It is like this. I heard that, Teacher Zhu, you are the advisor of the literature department. I would like to inquire regarding the matter of this literature department." "Oh, are you interested in joining our literature department?" "Correct. I want to learn more." "That's great. This way, after your military training ends, various departments and clubs will be recruiting new members. Add me to your contacts. I will message you then." "Eating. I'm going to starve to death." Lu Hang glanced at the time. "I'm sorry, but it seems that I can't assist with that." "I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. E. Kingling should have just started the meeting. Then I'll go have a meal first. She'll send a message later. I will go find her." Then Lu Hang replied, "Okay, let's go to the cafeteria and have a meal first." "Not, Zhao Wan, are you just eating these?" Lu Hang looked shocked, looking at the boiled broccoli in Zhao Wang's bowl and boiled chicken breast. Um, these are high in protein and low in fat. Muscles grow quickly." King Zhao nodded. He answers seriously, Sure. This is the legend. Is there someone whose brain is controlled by muscles? So powerful." Lu Hang silently sighed to himself. "Sigh, let's go eat over there." Liu Heitao pointed excitedly into the distance. A few female classmates in uniforms sat in their seats and said, "Aren't you only interested in the two-dimensional world?" Lu Hang curiously asked. "Sai, this statement is incorrect. I am interested in all beautiful things." Liu Heitao patted his chest, said with a serious expression, That's not good." Lu Hang hesitated. For some reason, there is a sense of fear deep within. Spontaneously arises. Lu Han, translation error, still chose to go with Zhang Jiyuan. "Hello, wait for me." Liu Heitao hesitated and looked around. Those female classmates, but still chose to catch up with Lu Hang and them. "Sai, Vanti, why are you here?" Zhang Jiyuan asked with a teasing expression. "Sai, am I the kind of person who values romantic relationships over friendships? Brothers are definitely important." Liu Heitao then sat down in the seat next to Lu Hang. Biddy. Lu Hang's phone notification chimed. E. Kingling sent a message. E. Kingling. Xinxing. I am currently in a meeting. What are you doing? Lu Hang took a photo of a small portion of spicy hot pot on the table and sent it over. Lu Ju Tu. Photo. I'm still eating. What happened? Kindling. Are you eating now? Lu Ju Tu. The meeting has gone on until now. Let's just eat it now. Don't worry. I don't eat much. I can still be your food digester later. Kindling. Then I'll make sure you eat a little more later. Lu Ju Tu. Picking nose boogers. Kindling. Wait for me at the cafeteria. I finished the meeting. I'll come find you soon. Lu Ju Tu. But, big. At this moment, Kindling is holding a class meeting in the classroom. Unable to hold back, I burst into laughter. That Kindling classmate, would you like to introduce yourself first? On stage, Zhu Yingxin asked in surprise, because it is two classes of professionals. So she is also the counselor for Kingling's class. This is also why Lu Hang meeting starts at 6 o'clock. She has to wait until 7 o'clock for the meeting. This also caught the attention of everyone in the class. Among them were some boys. It has already begun to stir. Allah, may Kindling pointed at herself with a fierce expression and asked. Zhu Yingxin nodded. Keep it up. Kindling. Chu Wan Ning beside. Gently patted her arm to encourage her. Kindling stood up. Slowly introduced myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Kindling. After speaking, she just stood there silently without moving or speaking. Is there anything else? Is there anything to add? For example, hobbies and interests. Zhu Yingxin tried to ease the awkward atmosphere at that moment. Tried to ask. There's really no interest. Do you like it? I love my boyfriend very much. Kindling also noticed it. Some individuals in the class. The restless boy, he said with a hint of firmness. What? Got a boyfriend. Damn it, I want to see. Which peg is it? Pushed the big cabbage aside. You probably don't know yet. That day I saw her with a particularly handsome guy, walking into the school gate together. This? Indeed, being good-looking is really useful. Some classmates whispered in surprise, talking to each other sentence by sentence. Thanks to this sentence, the scene instantly became noisy. It's just heading towards a somewhat strange direction. Thank you, Kindling, for your self-introduction. Zhu Yingxin awkwardly clapped her hands. Then Kindling sat down. Kindling, too strong. Chu Wan Ning looked at her with admiration and gave her a thumbs up. Is there? Actually, it's useless. Kindling smiled and touched her head. Do it this way. You can spare yourself a lot of trouble. Why not do it? Then there were the others in the class. Translation error. Zhu Yingxin shared some heartfelt reminders. Notified about some matters. The class meeting ended just like that. Kindling glanced at the time. Sorry, but I can't assist with that. Next, the message sent by Lu Hang. Kindling. Here I go. Are you still in the cafeteria? Lu Ju Tu. I'm waiting for you. Kindling. Good. Then I'll rush over there without stopping. Lu Ju Tu. Kindling. Are you going to find Lu Hang now? Chu Wan Ning and the other two people in the dormitory. He asked beside him. I'll leave first then. Goodbye. Kindling waved to the three. Ran away in a hurry. Zingxin. Zingxin. He ran up the stairs like a gust of wind. While running, I happily murmured Lu Hang's name, Liu Heitao, and two other people. After organizing the utensils, I stood up. As he scanned the surroundings, he found Lu Hang still sitting steadily in place. I couldn't help but feel curious. Asked openly, Lu Hang, why aren't you getting up yet? Don't you want to leave? Hearing a sound, Lu Hang slightly lifted his head. A faint smile lingered at the corner of his mouth. He responded softly, you all go ahead. Don't worry about me. I'll wait here for a little while longer. Someone is coming to find me." His tone was calm and firm. It seems that the doubts of the companions did not matter, and feel the slightest panic. "Oh, I myself. So who is this person?" Liu Heitao couldn't help but lean in closer. He asked suspiciously, could it be a Burl? Facing such a direct question from a friend, Lu Hang hesitated for a moment. "But I must honestly inform you. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. It's a girl." "But, bro, you haven't been to school for a whole day. Finally found a girlfriend." Liu Heitao's eyes widened. A look of disbelief appeared on his face. It felt as if I had heard the most unbelievable thing in the world. "Of course." Lu Hang quickly waved his hand in denial. "Don't talk nonsense. He was just a good friend of mine since childhood. It's not a girlfriend at all. Our relationship is purely one of friendship. No other meaning. Pure friendship. Childhood sweethearts. Let's take a nap together. It's perfectly normal to kiss a few times." His speech clearly quickened. Clearly, regarding this misunderstanding, there is a sense of guilt. I. The fat guy left. "Don't disturb them. They are getting a discount with the sister-in-law. When the time comes to drink the wedding wine, we can consider ourselves heroes now." Zhang Jiyuan glanced at Lu Hang and understood. Hugging Liu Heitao, she just walked away. There was a hint of teasing in his tone. Add, "Lu Hang, remember to take safety precautions. Don't let it turn fatal." King Zhao left behind a message, quickly turned around and left. Only Lu Hang was left alone, stunned with a fierce expression. "But why do I feel like the more I explain, the worse it gets?" Lu Hang rubbed his head in frustration, muttering softly to oneself, "Guess who I am?" A crisp moonlight shines. With a hint of playful words, a light sound drifted into Lu Hang's ears. At this moment he, sitting upright in the seat, fully absorbed in playing on the phone, unaware of everything happening around. In that very moment, suddenly, darkness enveloped before my eyes. It feels like the whole world. All were overshadowed by an invisible large hand. Meanwhile, a faint scent, yet an incredibly familiar scent of sorrow penetrated my nose. Immediately after that, it is that familiar voice. Lu Hang's lips curled slightly upward. A faint smile flickered across her face, but on the surface, still pretending to be clueless and unaware, he responded deliberately with a tone full of doubt. Who is it?" "Oh, come on, guess." Yi Qingling let out a sigh. Both hands tightly covered Lu Hang's eyes. The body lightly jumped with excitement. Like a lively and adorable little rabbit, Lu Hang secretly laughed to himself, continued to play along with her game, deliberately elongated the tone and said, "Oh, let me think about it carefully." After a brief pause, he suddenly raised his voice, half jokingly teased, "Are you saying that? This beautiful female classmate. Do you want to add my contact information?" However, what Lu Hang never expected was, when he said this, Yi Qingling, who was originally filled with joy, the expression suddenly changed. She gazed into the distance with her beautiful eyes. A glimmer of coldness flickered in the eyes, staring intensely at Lu Hang. That gaze was like two sharp daggers, piercing the heart. Every word. It feels as if they were forcibly squeezed out from between the teeth, cold and sharp. chilling to the bone. At this moment she, long lost the previous innocence and carefree spirit, replaced a face full of anger and deep coldness. I don't have it. Really not. Lu Hang quickly turned around. Bai Shu explained. He looked at Yi Qingling at this moment. A deep-seated feeling of fear spread throughout the body. Give me the phone. Yi Qingling just stared at Lu Hang. It feels as if everything around is coated with a layer of frost. Ah, we don't need this anymore, right? Lu Hang stammered hesitantly. Give me. Yi Qingling suddenly, with a fierce shout. Reach out and take it. She took her phone from the table. Okay, okay, okay. I'll give it to you, I'll give it to you, I'll give it to you. Little did Lu Hang back down in an instant. Immediately pick up the phone from the table, offering both hands to Yi Qingling. Yi Qingling slightly revealed a hint of satisfaction, started looking at Lu Hang's phone. After carefully flipping through for a long time, it turns out there aren't many other girls. It's just Zhu Yingxin who has more. She finally relaxed a little. After all, Zhu Yingxin is their counselor. Yi Qingling also joined. So it's quite normal. Look, I said there's nothing at all. Lu Hang crossed his arms. A look of superiority. Look towards Yi Qingling. HMPH, that's more like it. Yi Qingling replied earnestly. A calm and carefree expression. It seems that this is the way things should be. There is one more. Let me see your phone too. This time it's Lu Hang's turn. He spoke solemnly to Yi Qingling. Aye. Yi Qingling pointed at herself. A look of surprise. Lu Hang spoke with righteous indignation. Yeah, you saw my phone. What do I have to rely on? Can't look at your phone. Oh, that works too. Questioned doubtfully. Ah, anyway, what I'm saying is, if you can't see it, you just can't see it. And I set a password. You want to see it, but you can't. Yi Qingling replied with a frown, clearly annoyed. But at this moment, she felt very guilty. The album is filled with photos of Lu Hang. Most of them are still candid shots. There are still some things I used to do at night. Sneaking into her room, take some slightly private photos. These are all her treasures. Absolutely must not be discovered by Lu Hang. Forget it, if I won't watch, I won't watch. Lu Hang replied. He handed the phone back to Yi Qingling. After all, she is quite aware in her heart. Yi Qingling is absolutely impossible. Translation error. What is there to touch? It was just to show off one's own authority. I can't always let her lead me around by the nose. Xingxing, aren't you worried? Inside my phone, are there some other special things hidden? Yi Qingling said at this point, uncontrollably raised his tone. It seemed to deliberately emphasize a key point. Her gaze was fixated on Lu Hang. It seems like I want to see through her eyes, see through her true thoughts. And such strongly suggestive words, like a fire, ignited the already restless curiosity of the aviation crew. However, despite being filled with curiosity, but Lu Hang still forced himself to remain calm. But her mouth seemed stuck. Answered stubbornly, "What's there to see?" Boredom. She tried to hide herself with indifference, desire for the unknown. But in reality, that heart which could no longer hold back was beating wildly. Immediately after, Lu Hang seemed to have found an outlet for his emotions. She continued to complain indignantly. "It's actually you. Always making such a fuss. Can't even handle a little joke with you. Speak." She became angrier the more she thought about it. Unexpectedly, she reached out her finger. He struck hard on Yi Qingling's smooth forehead, pushed hard once, facing Lu Hang's actions. Yi Qingling did not retreat even a step. Instead, they shielded their forehead with both hands, with a determined gaze, and with a hint of, responded angrily, "Any joke is fine, but this matter is absolutely not acceptable." Her voice was resolute. "There is no room for negotiation," with unabashed toughness. Seeing Yikingling's expression, Lu Hang could no longer continue the argument. So they quickly tried to smooth things over and said, all right. Let's hurry and stroll through that food street outside." Upon hearing this, Yikingling's face immediately showed excitement, nodded in agreement without hesitation. "All right. Hurry up, hurry up." Before the words fell silent, she eagerly pushed Lu Hang towards the door. Watching Yikingling change so rapidly, Lu Hang could only shake his head helplessly, muttering to oneself, "You devil, turning against someone is quicker than flipping a book." However, even though I say this, but inside there was a heart full of affection. "Hey, as long as you're here, everything is fine." Yikingling smiled sweetly. Lowering his head, he walked the muddy path like a tattoo. Night, the lights of the food street gradually turn on, illuminated the entire street. The shops on both sides of the street are filled with a dazzling array of goods. The aroma of various delicacies wafted through the air makes one drool. Here is traditional Chinese cuisine, like roasted duck, hot pot, barbecue, etc. There is also Western cuisine, like pizza, hamburger, pasta, and so on. There are various special snacks, like stinky tofu, tangaloo, grilled gluten, and more, at the food street. You can see all kinds of people. There are young people, elderly person, couples, family, etc. They might be savoring delicious food, or chatting, or enjoying the night view. Everyone is immersed in the atmosphere of delicious food and joy. Here there is no hustle and bustle of the city or its pressures. Only food and happiness. Besides food, there are various cultural activities and performances here. Some shops display traditional handicrafts at the entrance, light paper cutting, sugar painting, Myanmar, and others. Let people feel the charm of traditional culture. Some shops will also invite artists to perform, like a singer, dancer swaying. "Wow, it's so lively here!" After seeing such a scene, Yikingling couldn't help but exclaim, "Well, after all, it's the food street in the university town. The foot traffic is still quite heavy." Lu Hang watched the passers-by, also infected by the lively scene at this moment. "Zixiu, I want to eat stinky tofu." Yikingling listened to the surroundings, excitedly headed towards a nearby stall selling stinky tofu. "Walk quickly. Don't buy the large sides." Lu Hang shouted a reminder from behind. Then, helplessly, he followed Yikingling's steps. "Boss, give me the large portion of stinky tofu." Yikingling looked at the stinky tofu in the oil pot with shining eyes. "Don't buy the large sides." Lu Hang gently patted Yikingling's arm. "Stop the road." I want to eat." Yikingling pouted and mumbled in dissatisfaction. "You can't finish it again. At that time I will buy other things to eat. How can I help you finish it all? I'm begging you, Hang. I'm begging you." Yikingling hugged Lu Hang's arm, starts to act spoiled and clingy, gazing at him with big, blinking eyes. "Make sure to eat a little more." Lu Hang fell silent for a moment. "In the end, I was defeated by Yikingling's charming tactics. Hang, you are really great." "No." Yikingling excitedly hud his head, then took a big bite. "All it takes is a little provocation to stir up a lot of talk." Lu Hang disdainfully wiped his own face, but I still couldn't help but slightly smile. "Good little girl." Your large portion of stinky tofu has a total of 12 pieces. Okay, thank you, boss. Yi Qingling paid the money. He handed the stinky tofu to Lu Hang and said, Hang, I want to eat. Then you eat it yourself. I thought you weren't going to eat. He handed it directly to me. Don't feed me. Speaking, Yi Qingling stood in front of him, opened his mouth, with the back of the finger. I truly admire you, Lu Hang helplessly complained, but still poked a piece of stinky tofu with a stick. It reached Yi Qingling's mouth. Al. Yi Qingling chewed while smiling sweetly. The cheeks were puffed out big and round. Looks quite adorable. Oh, is it delicious? Lu Hang tentatively asked. Delicious. Saying this, Yi Qingling also raised 2 thumbs up. Then I'll give it a try too. Speaking, Lu Hang used the same skewer. He also poked a piece and put it in his mouth. Yes, it's indeed good. Chewed a few times. After absorbing all the flavors, Lu Hang couldn't help but praise. Well, walking. There are lamb skewers. I want to eat. Saying this, Yi Qingling became excited again, ran to the barbecue stall on the other side. Hey, you've only taken 1 bite of the stinky tofu. Lu Hang was shouting from behind, holding that stinky tofu. He followed along as well. Boss, I want 10 skewers of lamb kebabs. Yi Qingling looked at the fragrant lamb skewers in front of her. Drool is about to spill out. What? 10 skewers? I want it bigger. Lu Hang stared with wide eyes from behind. He asked in shock. Sen, I want to eat. Yi Qingling started acting cute again. Then, in Lu Hang's hands, there was just an extra bag of lamb skewers. Can you do it first? Lu Hang was just about to say something, but she was interrupted by Yi Qingling's sudden scream. Xing, there is roasted chicken there. Yi Qingling's eyes sparkled with excitement, as if discovering a Western treasure. His face was filled with uncontrollable joy. She didn't give Lu Hang any chance to respond. Like a wild horse that has broken free. Excitedly, I rushed towards the roast chicken stand, watching Yi Qingling's figure gradually fade away. Lu Hang could only shake his head helplessly. Sighed. I sighed. However, she had no choice but to step forward again, tightly following him. In the following time, similar scenes keep unfolding. Sen, I want to eat pizza. Yi Qingling stands in front of a pizza shop, hands together in prayer, gazing at Lu Hang with eyes full of anticipation. Sen, I have spicy garlic cloves here. Before Lu Hang could respond, Yi Qingling has already run to another snack stall, waving to signal the landing aircraft. Xing, I want to eat that. Yi Qingling was like a joyful little bird, jumping between various food stalls. Every time I see a new kind of food, would express to Lu Hang without hesitation the desire to taste what one wishes for. I want to drink more beverages. In no time at all, in Yi Qingling's hand, already holding various snacks and treats. But she didn't seem satisfied with that. The gaze fell again on the nearby beverage stand. Just like that, Yi Qingling seemed to never know fatigue, from the streets to the alleys, continuously exploring various delicious dishes. Poor Lu Hang silently took on the role of her porter. The bag in my hand is getting heavier. It is filled with all kinds of food. Just as Yi Qingling was about to rush to another stall, Lu Hang quickly pulled her back and said, My young lady, please, I beg you, let's finish eating this first before we go shopping, okay? All right then. Yi Qingling looked at the various bags in the hands of the two. I had no choice but to nod in agreement. Let's go over there. Lu Hang pointed to a few leisure tables and chairs not far away. Clearly, they are all for the tourists in the food street to eat and rest. Let's go. Yi Qingling responded. Then he took the lead and walked over there. The two found a relatively clean chair and table to sit down. Next, the landing flight one by one. Take the food out of the bag. These foods, it seems like they are all piling up into little mountains. Various packaging boxes and bags. Look at how many things you've bought. Can you finish this? Lu Hang complained, looking at the mountain of food piled on the table. Can't help but feel a surge of fear. I believe in you. Yi Qingling wore a look of indifference. Refueled Lu Hang. Take the opportunity to sneak away. So fast, Lu Hang grabbed the back of his collar. Narrowing his eyes, he asked dangerously, "Where are you going?" "Ah me. Can I go there?" "Ah, Xingxing, you really know how to joke around." Yi Qingling awkwardly smiled, trying to shake off Lu Hang's dark grip. But Lu Hang held on tightly and wouldn't let go. "Just sit here. You are not allowed to go there either." Lu Hang pushed him back to the seat beside him, said in a firm tone, "Translation error. Miser." Yi Qingling muttered discontentedly under her breath, "This stinky tofu. Hurry up and finish heating it. It's all going to cool down." Lu Hang took the unfinished bowl of stinky tofu first, placed in front of him. "What should I do if I can't finish it?" "I eat what I can't finish." "Given your sincerity, I suppose I'll reluctantly have a bite," Yi Qingling said arrogantly. Then they began to eat. Yi Qingling was enjoying her meal thoroughly. Suddenly, she seemed to have thought of something interesting. Stopped the action in his hands. She poked a piece of stinky tofu with a skewer, excitedly handed it to Lu Hang's lips. Said, "Go ahead, take a bite." Could not help but frown. He shook his head and said, "No, the mixed flavor is too strong." Yi Qingling, however, was relentless. She said in a coy manner, "Oh no, no way. Just take a small bite. You don't have to eat it all again." Speaking, she stubbornly used stinky tofu, touched Lu Hang's lips. Lu Hang furrowed his brow and stepped back helplessly. She knows Yi Qingling's temperament. Once she has made up her mind, it's hard to change. There's really no way out. So she had no choice but to open her mouth, took a bite of that piece of tofu. Brief. At the moment, Lu Hang's lips just touched the tofu. A sudden burst of bright flashlights illuminated the scene. It was as if it would blind her with its dazzling brightness. Lu Hang was startled by the flash. He instinctively closed his eyes. "The tofu in my mouth nearly fell out." "Aha." Yi Qingling smiled awkwardly to the side. She said shyly, "I'm sorry. I forgot to turn off the flash." "Eh." Lu Hang rubbed his eyes. Complained, "What are you suddenly shining a light on?" "I was so shocked." Yi Qingling smiled and apologized. "Then turn off the phone's flashlight." He put the remaining half of the tofu into his mouth, put on a cute expression. "I took a photo of myself. I want to kiss you." Yi Qingling said happily, "Don't think you can kiss me with a mouth that just ate stinky tofu." As soon as he spoke, Lu Hang immediately propped himself up on the stool, stepped back, cautiously looking at Yi Qingling. "Oh dear, not kissing again. Just a kiss on the cheek. Are you trying to make me kiss you? That's not it either. Oh dear, I really can't do anything about you." Yi Qingling seemed to have not heard Lu Hang's words at all, pouting defiantly, leaning towards her lips. A sly smile seemed to linger at the corner of her mouth. Lu Hang watched as Zhang gradually opened his mouth wide. It seemed like I saw a wave of green energy emanating from her lips. She immediately reached out to block Yi Qingling's head, spoke eagerly, "Then we can only kiss on the cheek. Don't kiss my lips." Sigh. Stingy. Yi Qingling pouted and muttered discontentedly, but the body is still very honest. Moved over to the aviation side. Look at the camera. Clip. Just as Lu Hang looked over, Yi Qingling also kissed him. A perfect photo. It just appeared on her phone. It's really beautiful. Yi Qingling was excited. I placed the phone screen in front of Lu Hang. Tian Tian asked sweetly, "But it's okay. Why are you taking pictures?" Lu Hang was eating while curiously asked, "HMPH. You'll find out then." Yi Qingling's lips curled slightly, spoke mysteriously. Next she. "Then I fiddled with my phone," putting crazily. "Before long, the two have already devoured most of the food. Rather than saying it's two people, rather than every time Yi Qingling took a bite, just threw it to Lu Hang. As a result, most of them. It's still what she finished eating. This has left her belly round and bulging now. Even the once clearly visible abs has long been lost without a trace." Lu Hang looked at his phone. "I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that." Next she. He then said to Yi Qingling, "Let's go. Let's go back. Curfew is at 10:30. Go back early to take a shower and rest." Sigh. "I want to play a little longer." Yi Qingling's tone brought a hint of reluctance. After all, we had military training afterward. The time I can spend with Lu Hang has become less. I have to wake up early again tomorrow. Orientation for new students. It's better to rest early tonight." Lu Hang gently patted Yi Qingling's head in comfort, softly persuaded. "All right." Yi Qingling sighed helplessly, nodded slowly. "Let's go." Lu Hang took the lead and walked ahead. Clear the way for Yi Qingling. Because of this point, it was the busiest time on the food street. People come and go. Seemed extremely crowded. "Han, you hold my hand." Yi Qingling stretched out her fair and delicate hand. It was handed to Lu Hang. "You see, there are so many people now, not holding hands. Just wait or we'll get lost." Okay. Yi Qingling originally wanted to brainwash Lu Hang a bit more, but who knew that Lu Hang agreed without hesitation. A hand held his little hand. "Hang, you are really great." Yi Qingling's beautiful eyes shimmered with light, like the brilliant stars in the night sky, staring ahead, that warm and broad hand tightly holding onto itself. This hand seems to possess a magical power. Let his heart be at ease. Ripples of sweet tenderness arise, as if immersed in an ocean of happiness, surrounded by endless security. "Ai, don't let your imagination run wild. I'm just worried. You will just get lost and wander off." Lu Hang coughed lightly, feeling a bit uneasy, trying to hide the inner shyness and panic. But the slightly flushed roots of his ears but ruthlessly betrayed him real emotions, despite still being tough on the outside, but in reality, long since my heart has become like a road. "And you really just want to hold my hand, don't you?" Yi Qingling playfully leaned close to his ear, teased in a gentle voice. His voice is like the music of heaven, gently stirring the heartstrings of Lu Hang. His heart raced uncontrollably. "What are you talking about? I am a respectable witness. How could there be such a filthy and despicable thought?" Lu Hang pretended to be calm, replied with righteous indignation. However, faced with Yi Qingling's enchanting seduction, his originally firm will gradually began to waver. tone of voice has also become less decisive. At this moment, Lu Hang's ears turned increasingly red. Like a ripe apple, the more beautiful, the lower they bow. Clearly, Yi Qingling's teasing successfully hit the softest corner of his heart. Yi Qingling, seeing this, she smiled even more brightly. That smile blossomed like spring flowers, breathtakingly beautiful, still not saying anything. Stubborn, Yi Qingling glanced at Lu Hang with a charming look. The corners of his mouth were almost reaching his ears. At the same time, his hands did not stop moving. Instead, it loosened the hand that was originally held tightly, gently flip it over, skillfully intertwined with his fingers. Ultimately, they formed an intimate posture with their fingers tightly intertwined. The two held hands, shoulder to shoulder, swinging their arms at each other, walking through the bustling streets. Sin, will you always hold my hand in the future? As they walked, Yi Qingling suddenly looked at Lu Hang and asked with a smile, "Are you trying to make me die of heat?" At this moment, he still does not understand the true meaning of this sentence. But when the time comes later, he can no longer run away. Lacking romantic understanding, Yi Qingling scoffed and muttered under her breath, but feeling that hand being held, feeling sweet and satisfied inside. The two of them held hands the whole time. Arrived at Yi Qingling's dormitory building, many people on the road are turning back, looking at this enviable couple. Immortal lovers. You go up first. Saying this, Lu Hang tried to gently let go. Holding Yi Qingling's hand, Yi Qingling reluctantly looked at the hands of the two gradually being separated. It feels as if I've lost something in my heart. Then I went up. I really went up. I know. I really. Oh no, my young lady, you should hurry up and go. Lu Hang gently nudged Yi Qingling's shoulder, urging her. What about you? Yi Qingling retorted. Translation error. I am going back to the dorm. Lu Hang replied without hesitation. Sin. Actually, you can't bear to part with me either, can you? Yi Qingling chuckled softly and teased. This time, Lu Hang did not argue back, but he nodded seriously. After all, the two of them have been living together. A month has passed. We eat, live, and sleep together every day. It feels like the existence of the other party. It has already become a habit. How could one easily let go? This straightforward answer. Yi Qingling was momentarily stunned, slowly lowered his head. He mumbled with hesitation. Then I went up. Saying this, Yi Qingling walked towards the dormitory building. At this moment, she doesn't dare to look back, because she didn't want Lu Hang to see her flushed face at that moment, like a monkey's butt, and those lips that almost curl up to the sky. It feels as if a simple tug could lift it up. Lu Hang looked at Yi Qingling, gradually disappearing from his sight. I can't help but feel a feeling of emptiness. Then she slowly turned around, walking slowly towards my dormitory building. Suddenly, a message popped up on the phone. It was sent by Yi Qingling. Yi Qingling, I have returned to the dormitory. After you returned to the dormitory, remember to give me a video call. Lu Hang saw this sentence. The corners of his mouth couldn't help but curve up slightly. Responded quickly. Lu Juitu. Okay. Then she quickened her pace, walking towards my dormitory. Unbeknownst to one, she has gradually become accustomed to her existence. Unknowingly, she feels the same way about him. Develop a strong dependence. Will be happy because of her, because she is angry, because she experiences joy, anger, sorrow, and happiness. At this moment, Yi Qingling returns to the dormitory. From the hidden compartment of my backpack, took out a small notebook, turned to the first page. It was boldly written above. Translation error. It is densely recorded above. Her moments with Lu Hang. Since middle school. Lu Hang's hobby. What does she hate? What do you like to eat? Everything written above is densely packed. At this moment, E. Kingling opened her notebook, approaching the last page. I wrote down everything that happened today. Final remarks. I am about to get her. Soon. I will have her soon. She will be mine soon. It will only be mine. But at this moment her gaze revealed a hint of sickness and madness, filled with a strong sense of possessiveness. As the notebook was closed again, she regained her original lively and adorable appearance. Well, I can't believe it. Well, wow. Lu Hang. You are amazing. Lu Hang had just returned to the dormitory. I saw Liu Heitao holding his phone, running towards her, shouting. Her eyes were filled with shock. Even my slippers have gone missing a pair. What's wrong with you? In a hurry and flustered, Lu Hang frowned as he watched Liu Heitao running towards him. Asked in confusion, Brother Hang, please, I'm begging you. Teach me, please. Liu Heitao ran in front of Lu Hang. She looked at him with admiration and pleaded. What are you talking about? Why can't I understand? Can you understand? Lu Hang opened fire on the other two people in the dormitory. They all looked at him with eyes full of admiration, and nodded heavily. Lu Hang, you still don't know? Liu Heitao's tone asked in surprise. What do you know? Lu Hang was even more confused. A big question mark seemed to appear above my head. As soon as I entered the dormitory door, you ran towards me like you were crazy. What can I know? I'm completely dumbfounded. Okay. The school forum has exploded. Take a look at this. Finished speaking. Liu Heitao then turned on his phone screen, placed in front of Lu Hang. Lu Hang took a closer look. What is it if not oneself? Strolling through the food street with Yi Kingling. Did you take those few photos? A bunch of comments below. Swallow. How can I live without you? Swallow. Take a look. Take a look. Do you have their contact information? The two have been together for a long time. Handsome man. How can I live without you? Male bod. They look like a perfect match. No wonder they ended up together. Your male idol. I have already become someone else's plaything. Pangji. I didn't expect your girlfriend. It turns out to be the hottest joke on the forum right now. Liu Heitao wore a shocked expression, staring directly at Lu Hang, the other two people in the dormitory. They all looked over with expressions of surprise. We have been childhood sweethearts who grew up together. Not just any girlfriend. It's just pure friendship. Lu Hang looked at those photos on the forum, explained helplessly. Yes, yes, yes. It's still pure friendship. They have all kissed. I think it's pure friendship. Liu Heitao had a look of having gained a bargain. She looked at Lu Hang with a cute expression. Yeah, Lu Hang. Don't hold it in until you choke. We are all photography friends. Is there something you feel embarrassed to say? Exactly, exactly. Having such a beautiful girlfriend. Just enjoy secretly. Zhao Wang and Zhang Jiyuan also chimed in from the side. I really can't explain this clearly. The Demon King's call, Devil's call. As they talked, E. Kingling's video call just came in. You see, you still say it's not? Sister-in-law just called. Sigh. When will I be able to have a girlfriend like that? Lu Hang. Hurry up and answer it. Sister-in-law. Wait a moment. Don't rush. Lu Hang looked at the three of them. Everyone is looking at me with a face full of wild fish. He faced the three of them, made a close-range gesture. Don't speak recklessly. The three of them instinctively raised a hand gesture, nodded at him. Lu Hang always felt that. The smiles of the three at this moment, carrying ulterior motives. Sigh. He sighed helplessly, still answering Yi Qingling's video call. Lu Ju too. Why are you answering the phone so slowly? As soon as the call was answered, Yi Qingling's impatient voice came through. Sister-in-law. Hello, sister-in-law. Hello, sister-in-law. Lu Hang was about to explain. The other three people in the dormitory. They all gathered in front of the camera. He greeted Yi Qingling. Sister-in-law. Yi Qingling heard this title. First, I was taken aback. After realizing, the corners of his mouth were so wide they almost touched behind his ears. I feel really happy inside. This is the effect he wanted. He wants everyone to know. Lu Hang is his person. No one should covet. Hello, everyone. Yi Qingling politely greeted the three of them at that moment. Only the voice carried a hint of detachment. Liu Heitao and the others saw the stunning Yi Qingling, and that voice as beautiful as the sounds of nature. Everyone expressed a hint of jealousy towards Lu Hang. This is because I worry my brother will suffer. Afraid that my brother will lead the way. All right, all right. Hurry up and get out of the way. It's blocking me completely. Lu Hang frowned tightly. His face was filled with irritation and impatience. He extended both hands, forcefully confronting the three people in front of me. Push aside to both sides. Let your face be. Can be presented in front of the camera without any concealment. Hang Ji, I'm really sorry. You can continue chatting with your sister-in-law. We went to play nearby. Until this moment, the three of them seemed to awaken from a dream. Realized, accidentally pushed Lu Hang behind me. So I gave a forced smile, hastily moved his steps. Make way. Then they dispersed in a rush, running with no sight. After Lu Hang successfully stood right in the center of the camera, he took a deep breath. Then he began to explain to Yi Qingling at a leisurely pace. You mustn't listen to their nonsense. These guys are purely reacting to those photos they saw on the forum. I mistakenly thought you were my girlfriend. Upon hearing this, Yi Qingling's lips curled up slightly. A hint of playful pride appeared in her smile. Responded playfully, Your lucky kid can be seen as someone else's boyfriend. This is simply taking advantage of others. He deliberately put on an air of arrogance, an arrogant demeanor, but in their eyes, yet it clearly sparkled with a hint of barely noticeable joy. Hey, how can you still say that? If it weren't for you posting the photo, there's no need for so much trouble. Dare to do but afraid to post. I didn't mean it that way. So, do you want me to delete that piece of iron? Forget it. It's already been sent. As we move further along, he chose to compromise. The voice grew quieter due to insecurity. Her ears unconsciously turned slightly red. Actually, he has his own selfish motives. After all, he also saw it on the forum. Da Bahai Dai Lao Li Qingling's. He also felt quite lost. This will work, at least afterwards. There won't be that many people coming again. Sorry to disturb them. Save the trouble. Yes, that's it. It must be this way. I absolutely have no other intentions. For example, make others believe. Yi Qingling is my girlfriend's thoughts. Absolutely not. Lu Hang silently thought to himself, Oh dear, you're shy now. Yi Qingling saw Lu Hang's expression at this moment. I can't even express how excited I am inside. Excited, just like the honey collected by bees early in the morning. Sweet and delightful. I'm really into you. Why didn't you say it earlier? Come, I'll set the air conditioner to 16 degrees for you. Saying that, Liu Heitao beside him, just reach out. Go get the air conditioner remote. But Lu Hang held him down. Aha, Taozi. No trouble at all. Lu Hang directly took the air conditioning remote control, placed it on my own desk. How could it be hot? His seat is directly facing the air conditioning. The cold air from the air conditioner hit him directly. Turn the air conditioning temperature down a bit more. He is about to be frozen into an ice block. Didn't you say? Do you feel very hot? Liu Heitao was speaking. He reached out and scratched himself. Slightly messy hair, at the same time on his face, revealed an expression of extreme confusion. It felt as if my heart was filled with countless question marks, staring straight at each other. It seems like wanting something from the other person. Get a definite answer. It's nothing. It's not hot anymore. Aha, it's not hot anymore. Lu Hang spoke while, smiling awkwardly, carefully hold the air conditioning remote control, placed in idle gossip, and he could easily notice the place. This action seems somewhat deliberate, as if afraid that others would touch it again, the key object that determines the indoor temperature. At this moment, E. Kingling sat on the other side of the computer screen, already laughing uncontrollably, her clear and melodious laughter. Through the headphones, it reached Lu Hang's ears, making Lu Hang, who was already a bit embarrassed, even more so. They were red-faced. You're really funny, you know that. E. Kingling seemed completely unaware. How loud is your own laughter? Still laughing heartily without any reservations. You laugh again. If you laugh again, don't even think about going back. Lu Hang gritted his teeth in anger and threatened her. Stingy. E. Kingling instantly stopped laughing, muttered with a pout of dissatisfaction, given that you can still distinguish between the big and small kings. I reluctantly agree with you. Occasionally went back to stay. Can I visit occasionally? I can also occasionally not let you go back to stay. Lu Hang smiled, looking at Yi Kingling, but she only felt, this laugh feels a bit creepy. But, a petty man. Yi Kingling gritted her teeth and cursed. It's not like we're not letting you move back in. Afterwards, if you don't want to go back during the winter or summer break, it's not impossible to move back. Lu Hang crossed his arms, turned to look aside. He said nonchalantly, Really? Yi Kingling seemed like both eyes are about to shine with light. Excitedly asked, I could occasionally go back before. After that, it's a holiday, so I can go back. Now you can go back during both winter and summer vacations. Plan to take a step further. Translation error. You are the best. Little piggy head. Must be conquered. Anyway, the house is quite far away. Anyway, school is starting again. You come back to live. It's not impossible. Lu Hang's tone is a bit unnatural, but still, he slowly nodded. Sin, you wouldn't want to part with me, would you? Yi Kingling put her chin on her hand, smiling, staring intently at the screen. The man you can love to the bone. Who can't bear to part with you? I just feel that it's just a bit troublesome for you to go home by yourself. What are you thinking about? Lu Hang immediately responded to the emergency, immediately sat up straight. The body hurriedly and stubbornly began to explain. Yi Kingling just smiled and said nothing. It feels as sweet as chocolate in my heart. All right, I'm going to take a shower now. I'll hang up first. Speaking, Lu Hang reached out. You need to press the hang up button on the phone screen. Sigh. Don't. Yi Qingling immediately shouted, stopped his movements. What are you doing? I'm going to take a shower. Do you really want to see it? Lu Hang frowned and said helplessly. It's not impossible. Yi Qingling lowered her head. The face instantly turned red. He answered cautiously, I never realized before that you were so strange. Lu Hang was shocked to feel his mind. It's about to explode. When did this demon become so twisted? Did you ask that? It's not like I said it. Yi Qingling blushed, turned to look the other way, mumbling softly, I won't ramble on with you. Anad. Lu Hang was impatient. Just reach out. Go make a video call. Don't. Wait a moment. Yi Qingling's reluctant voice came again. I'm going to take a shower. You don't even have to think. Lu Hang immediately warned with vigilance. I didn't say I wanted to see it. Let's switch the call to voice chat. Isn't that good enough? Yi Qingling said with a relaxed expression. Lu Hang couldn't help but voice a surprised question. Oh no, you see. Anyway, I'll hit back later. It would be better to just switch the phone to voice mode. This can save a lot of trouble. Yi Qingling continued to explain her thoughts. When did you become so twisted? Lu Hang's eyes widened, looking at Yi Qingling in disbelief. Do I also need to take a shower? Shall we go together? Yi Qingling blushed, suddenly brought up an unexpected request. Not good, right? Yi Qingling's words. Lu Hang felt a bit at a loss. His originally steadfast will, doubts began to emerge. He felt an inexplicable heat, rising from the heart, gradually spreading throughout the body. This feeling, it made it somewhat difficult for him to control himself. It felt as if an invisible hand, gently strumming his heartstrings. I beg you, please. Yi Qingling saw Lu Hang starting to waver. She immediately launched the most effective charming assault. Facing Yi Qingling's coquetry offensive, Lu Hang's resistance gradually weakened. He couldn't help but swallow. The voice also became somewhat hesitant. Loneliness can only make voice calls. Hearing Lu Hang's response, Yi Qingling's eyes sparkled with a hint of cunning. He knows. My own charm has already worked. So, he quickly nodded in agreement. At the same time, secretly delighted in my heart, I had. Really? Hey. At this moment it seems there is great anticipation for the upcoming interaction with Lu Hang. All right. Then I'll hang up first. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Lu Hang then hung up the phone. I made a voice call. Almost in an instant. Phone. It was then that Yi Qingling connected the call. His voice, alluring to the extreme, echoed. I'll be waiting for you. Asterisk sound of a slap asterisk. What are you talking about? Lu Hang slammed his hand down hard on the phone screen, listening to Yi Qingling's seductive voice. A wave of heat spread throughout his body. You can't hit me. You can't hit me. Sorry, I can't assist with that. Lu Hang can already imagine it. Yi Qingling on the other side of the screen. An extremely arrogant expression at this moment. Just wait for me. It's best if you don't see me tomorrow. Lu Hang gritted his teeth and said, I don't want to be unable to see you. Silence for a moment. Yi Qingling's stubborn voice came through the earpiece. The tone was filled with strong displeasure. Oh dear, can I joke with you? You really took it seriously. Your cunning mind. How small can it be? Except for you. Yi Qingling covered the earpiece. Don't let this sentence of mine get through. All right. I put you aside. I'm going to take a shower. Saying, Lu Heng placed his phone on a rack next to the washroom. Crack, splash, with the sound of the door locking, the sound of the spray from the shower head. It also came from the phone. So, listening to the sound of flowing water from across the way, Yi Qingling felt her mouth watering. She took a deep breath, then hugging the clothes. He rushed into the bathroom, also started taking a shower. Lu Heng always felt, "It feels a bit strange. When I usually take a shower, the phone is playing all music. Today's news has arrived." It was actually the sound of someone else taking a shower, even though no one is here on the balcony. But she still turned on the phone's sound, adjusted as much as possible, the level that only you can hear. I'm getting ready to wash my hair. What about you?" Suddenly, a jarring sound broke her train of thought. She quickly responded, "There's no need to ask about such things." But I'm very curious." Yi Qingling's voice was as soft and charming as a spoiled child. Lu Heng, who is currently taking a shower, trembled all over. A chilling sensation spread throughout the body. "I am washing my hair," Lu Heng said irritably. I'm washing my hair too." Yi Qingling let out a light laugh. She revealed an inconceivable smile. "Hi there." Hi. What kind of outrageous statement is this?" Lu Heng was struck by these words. I choked on my water several times. At this moment she was completely flushed. I don't know if the bath water is too hot. Still, indeed, Hang is really adorable. Yi Qingling is over here. He revealed a smile of success in his plan. Excitedly asked, "Isn't it? But I wash mine. You wash yours. You are talking nonsense." I just hung up the phone. Lu Heng gritted his teeth and said impatiently, "Ped, if you don't want to say it, then don't." Yi Qingling said disdainfully. 10 minutes later, on the other end of the phone, the sound of Lu Heng getting dressed could be heard. Yi Qingling asked in surprise, "You're done washing?" "Yeah." "Could it be that you take half an hour to wash up too?" "Isn't half an hour quite normal? Why are you washing so quickly? I wonder if you've really washed it clean." At this moment, Yi Qingling, I really want to lean on Lu Heng, smell his scent, but felt powerless. This made her a bit frustrated. "It's nothing. You continue to wash me." I put on my headphones. As the conversation progressed, Lu Heng feels a bit guilty. After all, he also has some little thoughts. I don't want others to hear it. I don't want to just hang up the phone like this. You're so flirtatious. Then I'll hang up the phone. Don't. I am lustful. I am colorful. Yi Qingling quickly pointed the spearhead at herself. Although this is also a fact, she is indeed very attractive in Lu Heng's eyes. If possible, she even wanted to tie him to the bed, never be apart from. Lu Heng put on the headphones, drying my hair and feet. Then I got ready to climb into bed. "Brother Hang, going to bed so early. Liu Heitao is playing a game." Yu Guo caught a glimpse of Lu Heng, who was getting ready for bed. I couldn't help but ask curiously, "Sai, what a fool." Sister-in-law is still on the phone. Jiang Jiyuan patted Liu Heitao's back with disappointment. The latter showed an expression of sudden realization and said, I'm sorry, Brother Hang." After saying that, he immediately turned around and continued with the game that had been ruthlessly played. "Oh, Xiao, you have some skill. Little brother." Yang Jiyuan patted his chest at Lu Heng, made a gesture. "Everything is fine." Lu Heng flashed a grin. "I always feel like I can't clear my name anymore." "Forget it. too lazy to explain. If it can't be cleared, then let it be. That's right. He gave up. Since it cannot be stopped, then just enjoy it properly. Continuing, he stepped on the stairs. A spider climbed onto the bed. Fortunately, I bought the curtains and hung them up right from the start. Otherwise, the light in the dormitory right now, right in front of his face. I'd feel like I'm going blind, even with curtains. That blinding light. They were particularly conspicuous. The sound of rushing water. The sound of water echoed through the headphones. It feels like a clear spring, flowing into Lu Hang's heart. He couldn't help but fall into a reverie. At this moment, a breathtaking scene seemed to appear before his eyes. Yi Qingling's wicked and graceful demeanor, the graceful figure of Yunchen, faintly visible, like a fairy descending from the heavens. Crystal clear water droplets along his smooth, delicate skin, slowly sliding down, like a string of pearls, shining with enchanting light, radiating infinite charm and allure, every drop of water, all like little sprites, gently leaping, kissing his skin, bringing a hint of coolness and freshness. All kinds are intoxicating. Lu Hang's heartbeat couldn't help but quicken a bit. He worked hard to capture this alluring scene, drive it out of your mind, but then realized they simply couldn't do it. Opposite, as time goes by, the picture is becoming clearer and clearer, becoming more vivid, as if right before his eyes. It plays out just like that. He could even feel. Yi Qingling emanated a faint fragrance, and the slight breath he produced while breathing. This feeling is so real, to the point where Lu Hang was somewhat confused. Is it reality or a dream? Travel, travel. Are you still there? Yi Qingling's voice, it was transmitted into his ears through the headphones, interrupted his moment. What's wrong? Lu Hang was taken aback. After realizing, I quickly wiped it away. A trace of moisture appeared at the corner of my mouth without me realizing it. Quickly asked, I finished taking a shower. Let's switch back to video call. Okay. Night Qingling dialed the phone again. Switched to a video call. At this moment, Yi Qingling was like a water lily emerging from the water. That head of silky smooth hair, still damp, draped over both shoulders, as if just freshened up after a bath. A few crystal clear droplets adorned the skin, water droplets shining like pearls. These little droplets seemed to possess a unique magic. They traced along the delicate collarbone of the night, gently flowing down, leaving behind subtle and alluring water marks. Every drop of water radiates a faint glow, contrasting with the delicate skin around, cooperating with that pair of great evils. It created a scene with striking visual impact. Lu Hang suddenly felt dry in his mouth and throat. I couldn't help but swallow. He only felt at that moment, I bought this cute outfit. Why does Yi Qingling look so? Odd is this the contrast. But watching is just watching. It's still important to remind. Lu Hang then said, remember to dry your hair. I know. As the night breeze gently brushes through my hair, put on your headphones. After messing around here and there, it is already past 11 o'clock. Lu Hang has already turned off the lights. After all, I need to get up early tomorrow to attend the welcome conference. Qingling, I'm turning off the lights now. All right. After Kailing went to bed, you saw the night. Just walk over. Turn off the light. Getting ready for bed. At this moment, the night is clear and cold behind the curtains. Looking at the dark sky of Lu Hang, I can't see anything at all. He is wondering whether to buy a nightlight. He felt a bit uncomfortable not being able to see Lu Hang, but thinking about it, I decided against it. After all, it has been 7 days since the military training. He is going to move back to live there. At that time, he can hug Lu Hang to sleep every day. Where else do we need a night light? Well, except for special circumstances. Suddenly, he received a message from Lu Hang on his phone. Lu too, it's time to sleep. I'll hang up now. Kingling. No. Good. Can we just keep the video call going without hanging up? The little cat pleaded. Lu, the key is that everyone is asleep at night. It's not easy to talk about anymore. Kingling. No chatting. We just hung up and went to sleep. Lu. Why? Puzzled, he scratched his head. Kingling. Because of this, I can feel you. Always by my side. Lu too. Good night is clear and cold. Good night. Lu. Good night. Early morning. The sunlight filters through the curtains, fallen on Lu Hang's face. Kingling just got up early in the morning, through the phone screen, saw Lu Hang's sleeping profile. He couldn't help but smile slightly. This feeling made him very satisfied. The only downside, it's just out of reach. Can't hug him. Lazy pighead. Wake up. Kingling's gentle voice. Translation error. Lu Hang emitted a muffled sound, rubbing my sleepy eyes, light-hearted eyes, then slowly opened their eyes. In the eye, it is propped up on the wall next to the phone screen. Kingling's smiling face was bright and cheerful. Lu Hang glanced at the time. 7 o'clock in the morning, before the new student enrollment conference begins. There is still an hour and a half. At this moment, the others in the dormitory, still in a dream. But we need to gather half an hour earlier. So the remaining time, there is only 1 hour left. Why did you get up so early? Lu Hang asked quietly out of curiosity. Without you by my side. I haven't slept well. In the gentle voice of Kingling, and it carried a hint of slight grievance. Then let's say it this way. You won't sleep well anymore. Lu Hang pretended to be annoyed and retorted, but the heart